a lot of the reason we do what we do here is because the comic industry is sick. It's like a groom room, and it bears repeating when it comes to Heather Antos, who's been propped up by the industry for years, despite the fact that she's an incompetent editor at her licensing job. She keeps just getting promoted through this system because she's a little socially savvy in this, and she's a girl. So a lot of these little nerds in this industry are very, very susceptible to simping. Is what it comes down to. And so I reported, and I was the only person to report on this last year. I don't even know why your boy Zach doesn't report on this stuff. Like, he's busy yelling at Nerdrotic for not liking Superman or something like that as the movie. But he used to cover this type of stuff that was going on in the industry. And I saw this anthology, and she was promoting it hard. And of course, this was her first comic art. I did not get a copy. I wanted to show you guys because I think it's funny. And how bad this is, but at the same time, I can't bring myself to just even give her $5, so I'm not gonna do that. But they put up this When I Was Young. It's literally a groomer anthology. That's all it's about. An LGBTQIA+, the plus is for pedophile, charity comic anthology. And you can see on the cover of it, right here, this was not her cover, but it is, she did interior art on one of the stories on here. Her only comic book credit is in here. You see it's these creepy rainbow women, this one's naked touching a young girl. I mean, what's happening here? The other one's over there. Maybe she's not naked. She's of course touching a young black boy on his bed. And it's what the messaging here? When I was young, I was, molested by LGBTQ activists, I guess, is the messaging here. They always kind of tell on themselves in their messaging. Have you noticed this? They want to promote whatever it is, but it's it's always like Doctor Who's a great example. They wanted to push the transgender thing, and they put this creepy drag queen into one of the episodes, and the drag queen was all about stealing music and stealing joy from people and destroying art, so that because in his narcissistic vision of reality, and that's exactly what they do. It went so woke it was circled around a based. And this is kind of the same thing here. You've got this When I Was Young, an LGBTQ anthology, and there's a crying girl getting molested by a naked woman. It's yeah, that's exactly why we have to fight this, because they are trying to destroy the youth and groom them into these lifestyles. And so this made $15,000. They donated it to a group called the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is an LGBTQ youth charity that, again, they donate all their money to grooming people. And this is the deal. So this they did a signing at San Diego Comic-Con about this, which I'll get into in just a moment. Crazy stuff. Let's talk about that. Please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things in the comic industry and what's going on there. We are, of course, pushing back against these type of comics by making our own. We have some great, wholesome comics that are a lot of fun. This is Flying Sparks. It is available on my Substack right here. It's really good stuff, guys. And I like the kind of webcomic model a lot because it's about getting you reading. It's about getting people reading again. And that's what's very important. The comic industry is not about that. It's always about support this cause, or it's about it's an all-new #1 first issue, a collector's item, bag and board it before it gets wrinkled. And it's not about people actually reading the comics. In fact, if you look at it, whenever you try to discuss comics, nobody's reading comics anymore in that capacity. So it's it's a big red flag. I actually went into a comic shop several years back, and a couple years back now, and the owner told me he only thinks about 30% of the people there actually read the comics they buy. It's just a habit of collecting. And so webcomics is a little different because it's just about reading. There's no collector habit. There's nothing about that. It's just about stories. And so we're providing that to you right here. And so get on here, guys. It's so important because then I can stay in touch with you as well. You never know if I'm going to find you on YouTube again. It's just the way algorithms work, and I like to get rid of algorithms. There's also a paid membership. So if you want to support me and patronize me and help me just be able to make my art here, you can grab this. I actually provide 2 different exclusive comics that we're posting monthly as well. Great stuff. And so we're building a wonderful universe. This is where it's at. This is the real alternative to Marvel and DC that your boy Zach promised, didn't deliver, that Comicsgate promised, didn't deliver. We've been doing it this entire time. And, of course, that's why they've worked so hard to try to shut us out, both there and the mainstream industry. They know we're the real deal. And they know that, once this catches on and goes big, Like they know the mainstream industry knows we're like the one. That's why they've got me banned from everywhere. It's very, very crazy how it goes. But this is it. Get on the Substack, guys. It's in the description below, and thank you for being here. And so yes, so they set up at a Prism LGBTQ booth. And if you don't know who Heather Antos is, she started at Marvel Comics as an associate editor, which means she was getting coffee for the editor and has a title. She flounced out of the comic book industry after she claimed harassment because she was posting this like feminist garbage on her feed that got her some attention. Then she ended up at Valiant Comics, and this was Valiant Comics was doing great for several years. Once she became editor and was running Exo Manowar, she destroyed the properties there. Like they went from publishing several books a month down to like one a month and then zero for a while. Another publisher had to come in and kind of rescue them, then couldn't make it happen. It's been a disaster. At IDW Publishing, she became the head of licensing, and she's actually turned a bunch of like little girls' properties, Monster High, which is again a kid's property, groomer again, into like this like lesbian sort of relationship there, which trying to promote that to little girls. And then she put a sex worker and drug addict, T. Franklin, on My Little Pony. Now that apparently very much offended the corporate higher-ups who pulled My Little Pony as a license from IDW because of it. They did not like that happening there, from what I hear. So this is what's going on. And so she's still rampant at IDW. She's done a Pride-themed Star Trek anthology. It's just terrible. And she did this When I Was Young sort of deal right here, as I mentioned before. At San Diego Comic-Con, Prism Comics is a nonprofit pushing LGBTQIA+ diversity in comics, setting up every year promoting comics like When I Was Young. They push their agenda across the comic book industry. This year they hosted a signing for the anthology, including Heather Antos, who appeared at the booth to try to promote this book and funding here. So here's her schedule, signing When I Was Young. Now this makes sense because she drew it. The art of comic book signing Star Trek. Why would she be signing Star Trek when she doesn't write or draw Star Trek? I've never seen editors sign other people's books. It's like a narcissism. It's all about promoting Heather Antos as Heather Antos more than anything. Star Trek: The Next Frontier. I'm sure nobody went to this panel. I would have been at that panel, but I couldn't go this year. I have a little baby, so it's not time to go to Comic-Cons. But here it is, a signing at the Prism booth right now. So again, Prism Comics. We can go to their beautiful website here. This is what it's all about. Ooh, oh boy, this is the comic industry, and they're a nonprofit that gets funded from donations. I don't know where those donations come from. They don't list it here. I'm sure they probably got some of that USAID money that was rolling around before. Leading nonprofit supporting LGBTQ comics. Oh boy, what a crowd. Oh boy, there's that guy in the pink. Oh my gosh. So that's it, and they are trying to push this all the way around. Talent signing. You look at these women like getting in on this. This is what they always do, right? They always try to like grift off these like social causes. These women who can't actually like do things themselves. But Prism actually mentions it's for children and teenagers. They're about grooming as well, as you can see. Are LGBTQ themes appropriate for teenagers and children? No, they're not. And as you see, absolutely. Adolescence is a time when most people develop long-lasting belief systems and any prejudices they might have. It's also a time when LGBTQ people become more aware they're different and feel isolated and alone. Yeah, because they kind of were molested. They don't know what to do, and then they kind of have their hormones going at that point. And so we need to save them from these situations is what it comes down to. But this is obviously grooming, and they're for grooming. They want to push it. They want to push it among kids, and that's exactly what they're saying right here. So, yeah, there you go. Comic-Con, the Groomer Show. This is what we had this weekend. Crazy stuff. But this is exactly why we have to make a difference with the comic book industry. This is what we do by building our own comic setups right here, guys. This Substack's where it's at. There's going to be a lot of wonderful content over the years as I build this up. And thank you for, of course, making this a huge success over the last month as I've started this from scratch. This is in the description below. Thank you so much, guys. Sign up. And I also have a web store. If you do want physical comics, those are available as well. And as you know, I lost a bunch of my comic collection this weekend. If you watch that video, go see that. Of course, this grabbing some books and all that does definitely help. The Emerald Array is a crowdfund we recently just did, and some of the variants are still available right here. Appreciate you for being here. We'll be back soon.